Good morning to my friends in New York, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, Texas. I mean, good morning around the globe. Good morning, Christiansted, Fredericksted, Mid Island, St. Thomas, St. John, Water Island. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's another episode of Reflections. By the way, like I'm losing my voice. Anyway,
So that party you're doing?
yeah, I had a party in it. Yeah.
Gerard,
Yeah.
you must sleep at night, Gerard.
Well, I don't try, but when the party is on, it's on, you know. But on a serious note, I want to remind the public, the number to call is 340-773-0390 or 773-0490. That is the number to call to get in on the conversation or to change the conversation to whatever you want. That's, whatever you want to talk about. But remember, if you're calling with a complaint, right, you want to hear your solution to your ailments as well. All right? So don't just call and complain. Tell us what you're going to do to fix it.
Or how you're going to contribute to the solution.
Yeah.
Because some of these things I need to fix, Gerard, it's a we thing. It's one thing to state the problem, but it's a we thing. You gotta come in with some idea, well, how you gonna make a contribution toward the solution. Okay. One of the things, and I don't know how feasible this is within the PSC. One of the things that's a problem is that when the internet goes down, it means that your recreation and the internet gone down. It means that your payment facilities gone down, which is affecting the economy. Your security options gone down, because now all of a sudden them fancy cameras and systems you got on your house, you can't even look to see what's going on, open the door for the exterminator remotely, whatever. You can't do none of that. Well, if the providers had to account for downtime according to who's affected, just like WAPA, because when a feeder go down, that means that's a source of money go down. If these folks had to prorate what they charge you every month, they would make sure that their system stay up. But right now, their system goes down, and other than maybe for their reputation, they don't care. Because at the end of the month, when your bill comes, your bill doesn't go down $1, a cent, 50 cents, nothing. You get billed your regular bill, whether they are up or not. So all these senators who are running for governor, all this other good stuff, what you gonna do about that? Now, when it comes to national and territorial security, when it comes to public safety, we're talking about the ability to access 911. Okay, so the phone has to be working. But for some people who the internet is their means of communication, when the internet goes down, they have no way to communicate. If you're away visiting in the States and somebody trying to break into your house and your cameras were your way to be able to know to call 911, and all of a sudden now you are disconnected from being able to monitor your property. Okay? So somebody was supposed to come in for Airbnb, and somebody decide they're going to break in. The neighbor's going to know who it is, or however, whatever the case may be. The bottom line is we need to address this because it's an accident. Probably don't happen. But if it ain't don't happen, it's definitely waiting to happen. And one of the things that I've seen as a habit in this territory we got breaking, we can't wait till somebody dies to deal with these things. Because too often, that's how it works. When somebody died. I remember at WAPA here on St. Croix, we lost a lineman, And all of a sudden I was hearing talk about things I had never heard about in the whole time I was here. Tailgate briefings and all this other stuff. Everybody was running around nervous because people knew. People knew certain things. Okay, no, and this is the same. Now we have a uptick, it seems, in crime and gun. Hey, so it was out of sight, out of mind, and laying low. But you didn't think that it had people walking around with illegal guns and so forth and so on. When last we see a traffic stop on the road? Okay.
This morning.
Flat. You see one this morning? Great, fantastic. Brings, raise my level of confidence. Okay. Now we have flat cameras around. Jared, are you familiar with flat cameras?
No.
Okay. They're cameras that record license plate and stuff and everything else. They got a website you could go to and you could see where all they're located. Okay. Anybody who wants to look that up could look that up. That's fine. I'm not here to provide that information right this minute, but the key to flat cameras is that if a crime occurs in an area, they can monitor the traffic and see the vehicles going, coming, whatever, as part of their investigation process. But there's another side to it, and I come in after the police department and everybody else about this also. What are the policies governing the use of these cameras? For instance, if a policeman wants to check on whether or not he getting harmed because he hears so and so and this is a license plate, and all of a sudden he start tracking his girlfriend or tracking the alleged boyfriend, or it could be the other way around, the fact that a mother is a police woman, okay, tracking whoever they want to track. The bottom line is that these type of abuses are already happening with the use of these flat cameras. So you're supposed to have policies, procedures, whatever in place to make sure that this type of stuff don't happen. All right? But what's happening is that the pressure to do something, so you go and you put in all these flat cameras, and then you start finding out later on after the fact, after somebody don't get beat up, somebody get shoot, somebody get run off the road, whatever the case may be, because so-and-so upset that so-and-so watching the girl, or when they gone to work, they off work, whatever the case may be. Anyhow, the bottom line is flat can be useful, but if it's not properly regulated within the system, it's also very easy to abuse. For instance, yeah, go ahead.
You know they don't need the cameras to do that. It's happening right now. They're tailing people out in cameras. They're watching people and think they people watching a Hana man and a Hana woman with all the cameras. They're finding out where all the cameras. So.
My point is this, though. I understand that. I understand the reality of life. Brother. All you need is somebody who feel insecure and they're going out on their own. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when the levers of government are being used in these illegal ways. In other words, if you're going to set it up right. See, they quietly moving these cameras. Okay. But where's the policies? Everybody can find the cameras. So you can move them in quietly. Anybody who wants to know, just like if anybody wants to know who the sexual offenders are here in the Virgin Islands, they can find that out too. I'm just saying, it's there, it's public information.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, I went to a program and former Governor Mapp was speaking. And he was speaking about the time a policeman executed in his mind, girlfriend. Okay? And he told the story in a way that anybody who could go back and find that video and watch it will understand that you don't want to make available additional tools available to anyone, police, because police are people too.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm saying whenever you have an institution that's responsible for enforcing the law and you give them these type of tools, you have to give them the appropriate policy, direction, guidance, regulations that can deal with discipline all the way to termination if necessary, or beyond that as necessary.
Right.
So this is what I'm saying. Where is that information?
Maybe information is internal.
But that's the problem. How do you protect yourself?
I mean,
Okay.
don't go and harm the police. That's all.
Brother,
Leave the policewoman alone.
in this day and age, you don't have to be doing nothing. All I gotta do is be in somebody's head. Okay? Um, so but no, I appreciate your humor and your mischievousness. I appreciate it because as you can tell, it's humorous on the one side, and what you gonna do? Cry? Crying ain't gonna fix nothing. Okay, crying ain't gonna fix a thing. Okay, yeah. Anyhow, we're gonna be on online in a minute. Uh, I believe we got Facebook running, and
And YouTube.
and YouTube in a second.
No, they got YouTube running already.
Oh, it's running. Okay, all
Yeah,
right,
just cooling.
just cool. Okay, all right. Well, taking it one day at a time. But anyhow, folks, come back with your part of this of the contribution to the solution, or if you have a solution, all right. Make sure that you talk with your people that you favor for electing to public office about these things, so they can be aware of them. Uh, I just know that things get abused if you don't have things put in place to put them in check. And I would hate to see anything bad happen. So we went from the telecommunication system, where it's clearly broken in favor of disrupting the public security when it comes to being able to utilize the the online systems as part of their security and monitoring. It disrupting businesses that counting on the internet for doing their business. Right? I don't know if you heard, but the police are encouraging people to register, and this is totally voluntary, their cameras with the police. Now, register simply means let us know that you have them.
Mm-hmm.
In the context of something happened in the area, they know upfront who they can talk to. And one step further in their investigation, because they may find out anyhow, but if they know in advance, they can be that much faster.
Don't come talk to me.
Don't come talk to you. Okay. Well, anyhow, the bottom line is that's a positive thing to me, because at least if something happens, it puts them one step ahead to say, well, let me check, we'll see this happen on the street, let me see if his cameras pick up anything, or whatever the case may be.
I just asked my dog, hey, so piano. He me like,
Well, you see, your one man dog is another man camera. Oh Lordy me. Anyhow, 9 o'clock. I believe we're gonna have a guest on the station here with us. Um, I'll confirm that in a minute or two. And beyond that, here we are in August. July, what part you been? You lie about how long you won't be here? Look at you gone.
well, July, you know what? July.
July,
Yeah.
okay.
Anyway, I want to remind the public,
Mhm.
know your status, know your numbers. If you're not sure if you're living out there with diabetes, go and get checked out. You could check out VIDCO, the Diabetes Center for Excellence in Science Farm. It's next to frame up. I don't have the telephone number in my head, but you will go there, schedule an appointment, and go get seen. They can check your A1C. They have a podiatrist. They have a nutritionist. They have um, endocrinologists. I mean, all these people are on board right there at the Diabetes Center for Excellence. So know your A1C numbers because it's critical for your well-being. I don't want you to be frightened, but diabetes can take your eyesight, it can take your kidneys, it can also take your limbs. So if you want to keep your toes, your foot, that kind of stuff, get yourself checked out to make sure you're not on the verge of losing any one of those things, your sight, your kidneys, or a limb, your lower extremities. Because these doctors here, they got the bone saw sharpened and ready to go with it. So
you have to be so graphic, brother.
but everybody I know that got in there with a little foot problem come out without the foot. So I talking facts.
You talking facts.
Yeah.
You talking facts.
They love to cut.
Okay.
Okay. So that's the problem here.
Okay.
Okay. I hear you. What you grab there?
Okay. I got the round thing. Oh, shoot to my. Okay. All right.
I hear you. You're humming already.
That can't be me. Okay, that's the box. The box. Okay, so that may be the
batteries or you?
No. Ain't being even on yet. And that thing you pick up, it coming from the mic box. Okay.
Okay.
So I ain't gonna even fight with that now. I'm just saying it coming and everything running through there. So let me check with let me check and see if we got empty slot on the board itself, and that way I'll get a dedicated so it might be a channel, just one channel, the channel from or it could be the box itself. But yeah, so power is off on my end. Okay, yeah, folks, we're here talking some geeky stuff and everything else, trying to make sure we got some new things we're going to be putting in place in the not too distant future to broaden our reach and the ways we can interact with you. Okay, good thing. So we take it one step at a time here. Yeah. So you're not gonna hear anything now. I don't think. I believe that the box has an issue for starters. If you don't have something hook up and you just have something plugged in and nothing is being powered and you turn up the gain and you have the volume and you start picking up a hum. See? Hear it again? You hear that?
Yeah.
Okay? Nothing on. Okay? Nothing on there. All right? So we have to see if we could get a direct hook in here and see if we could bypass that problem. Okay? All right, one day at a time. Folks, it is Thursday. The weekend starts with Thursday. All you Friday worshipers, hey, just be calm. Just know that we're here and we're going to do it together, enjoying this week. All right, Joe. So, John.
Yes, sir.
I see that your Public Works Commissioner is being moved.
You do?
your public works commissioner is being moved.
See,
Okay.
my public works commissioner.
Yes, he's
The one
being
that-
moved. He's being moved apparently because someone believes that he is probably better equipped to deal with the issues that the VA housing authority is having to deal with. So it means maybe he's better with budget and accountability and all this other good stuff or whatever.
Well, me know about that because I can be brutally honest.
Brutally,
Yeah, brutally honest.
brutally.
Yeah, my experience with this guy is he missing in action.
Okay.
Okay, I call his office, I leave message. Um, even when I was working in the legislature trying to get an audience with this man, he played dodge and coop for the duration of time I've been in the legislature. Couldn't get to this man to have his Vitran staff get an audience with the senator. They RM was running and hiding and dodging and just not being accountable.
Well, I gonna tell you, it's been my experience. It's been my experience that there are two sides to that. One might be that they actually have behaviors that aren't consistent with public service. Okay, it's a diplomatic. To put it diplomatically, okay. Or I can tell you, when I was involved in that actively in that in public service, one of the things that I endeavor to do in going out in the community, I would usually work to have someone with me, and worst case, my own notepad, because when you are bombarded, as you sometimes will be, by 50 people, by the time you get to number 50, if you remember who number one is, you're good. Okay? And there's nothing worse than to tell somebody I'm gonna get back to you on something and you don't get back to them. I'm human, it happens. It happens to other people. But what it means is then you have to put a mechanism in place. For instance, if I went to a function where I know as an elected official that people are going to bring issues to my attention to want to follow up with, very often when I went to those settings, there was someone from my staff who came with me. All right, and that was by design.
Right.
That was by design, because I know that people are going to be there. They're going to need things done, and they're going to need to know that the person that they're talking to is going to follow through and come back around to deal with it. One of the most important things in public service is to have that person who is your liaison / manager when it comes to public interaction. Because after all, what is the job? The job is doing things for your constituents. He says, right? Think it is. You know,
that's what it's supposed to be.
if somebody have a different measure, okay, then I'm good with that too. Somebody have a different measure.
That's what it's supposed to be, but I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's the reality. We know what's supposed to happen, and sometimes we know that what happens and what's supposed to happen don't quite match up. Okay, and if they don't quite match up, then we have to revise the way we approach these things.
You clicking on I can't think over it.
Yeah, man. I clicking and moving and everything else over here because Had something here was gonna run out of juice. And you want to hear no baby bawling because they ain't get no juice.
Milk.
Sorry, but I'm not lactating.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
walk with a bottle.
walk with a bottle. Okay, all of that. Okay, I'm gonna take your advice. I'll take your advice. You see, folks, I gotta say, you know, Jared will take good care of me. You know what I'm saying? He'll take good care of me. I can't accept that he don't take good care of me. All right. Oh, I could say, but then he'll take up his cane and knock me. So, you know. And by the time I get to Big Sis, it's too late. I don't get a wealth. Big Sis, how you doing out there? All right. Anyhow.
She got birthday coming up,
Mm-hmm.
26.
What is this? Birthday coming up?
Yeah. So
You know, one of the things these computers have now, do not disturb, right?
mm-hmm.
Folks, when you turn on do not disturb, remember to turn it off.
Listen,
Oh yes, I tried to reach you, whatever. I get properly cussed out for that. And it was important, but at one point I had a technical issue that was clicking it back on automatically. But I think I got that resolved.
I went to miss turn on my computer. Turn on my computer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to trying to like update it and so.
Mm-hmm.
I see the thing, but do not disturb. It pop up on the screen.
Uh-huh.
So I try to move away from it to dismiss it. Boy, dog, I turned the thing on. You ain't realize, up to now, I ain't realize I turned it on now.
Mm-hmm.
For the whole afternoon, my phone ain't ring. So when I pick up the phone, I said, "What? Normally somebody will call me, but no, like, what happened to it?" So when I pass my hand to the top of the phone,
Mm-hmm.
tell me I got focus is on. I said, how the hell focus come on? I said, I didn't turn on no focus. But then when I realized I did turn it on,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't mean to turn it on. I thought I was clicking it off.
Yeah. Okay. Well, happy ending. You realize it was on and turn it off. Happy ending. Yeah. Okay. So count your blessings. At least you saw that and you were able to deal with it. Okay, what we got going on here? Okay, something drop on this. Okay. All right, so I guess I'm gonna be learning that out again. Okay. Well,
Well, they say they hear you.
you hear me with what?
Say, but how by the time you get to Big Sis, you don't got the wealth.
Oh,
They
Lord.
don't text me. Let me know they hear what you say.
All right. Okay.
But you know, you're right. I'll get to your first.
Yeah, that's the problem. That is the problem. Okay.
See, I know a thing called cane food. You know, so
mhm.
I know how to use the cane,
Okay.
you know, defensively.
Oh yeah. Okay. Let me see if these folks got this. See if we got our days mixed up.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. So
So,
while he figuring that out over there,
yeah, we can figure it and talking because my thing is your Sunday can't be my Saturday. You know what I'm saying? You have to
Yeah.
decide is either Sunday or Saturday.
right? While he figuring that out over there, I want to remind the public that under the umbrella of UVI, VIU said has several programs, one of which is the ICANN Connect program. The ICANN Connect program, otherwise known as the Deaf Blind Equipment Distribution Program, is a free program where you can get an iPhone, iPad, or Braille devices or computer for free. The operative word in what I'm telling you here is free. You don't pay for anything. You just have to have these two things. You have to be hard of hearing and visually impaired. Once you have those two things at the same time, you can qualify for this program. To find out more about the program, you can visit icanconnect.org. That's icanconnect.org. Or you can call us at 340 692 4267. We also have what we call our DME closet, which is doorbell medical equipment, where we can lend you a wheelchair, walker, or cane for about 30 days or more until your insurance kicks in. So then when you get your mobility device, your own, then you bring ours back so the next person can have it to use at their disposal. So the numbers to call for that one also is 340 692 4267. The USAID also offers a low interest loan program for if you need to do improvements on your home, if you're a disabled individual, you need to put a ramp or do some disability updates within the home. We also offer a low interest loan program. It's about 4% interest or so. It's actually 8%, but where you said pays 4 and you would pay the other 4. And to apply for this loan program, you can call 340 692 4267. Where you said also offers free, I repeat, free assistance with your cell phones, tablets. I'm not doing computers. The cell phone and tablets, I will assist persons with disabilities and seniors to how to learn their cell phone and tablets. If you have problems getting your emails on your phone or your tablets or whatever, if you need to learn how to use it with the accessibility on there, you can give us a call at 340 692 4266. Call to make an appointment. We are happy to serve you. Via USAID, working for you.
Yeah. Okay. Folks, the Division of Personnel, all right, open enrollment is from August 10th through September 11th, and they're going to be having benefit forums. They had one on the 10th. They had another one on the the 10th was here on St. Croix, here at the DC Cannegator Ballpark, and then on the 12th they had it in St. Thomas, and on the 13th on St. John, right? On the 14th, which is tomorrow, they're going to have it via Teams, right? So you can check in via Teams if you missed the other meetings, but hey, just to let you know, it's that time of year and you need to definitely make sure if you need to make changes that you make the appropriate changes, all right? Want to remind folks that, hey, there is the USVI Innovative Housing Construction Summit going on. It was held in St. Thomas, or she says being held in St. Thomas today from 8 to 5 at the UVI Innovation Center. And then it's going to be here on St. Croix on the 15th, okay? That's this Saturday at the UVI Great Hall Room from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Very interesting presentation. If you have a house that's going to cost you $400,000 to build and you get a chance to bring that cost down to 325,000 for an example, let's say just by changing to building techniques that allow you to make those cost savings, and you need to know about it, especially since, from what I've seen, we're not talking about cutting corners. It's just there's certain ways to build that are just more expensive, but don't give you any more strength to your building. So if you can build to standards to withstand the hurricanes that we have coming through here, you have a choice between paying 325,000 or 400,000. Well, if you just want to blow $75,000, then you go right on ahead. It's your money. But the idea is for you to at least be aware. Now, the one thing in particular with some of these building techniques is the insulation to your house is much more advanced, which means that you keep the heat from the sun out. And if you put in air conditioner or you're just in a place where it's nice and cool inside, you keep the cool in. And when you see these things, you realize, well, wait, now in the middle of summer when everything blazing and you gotta wait till 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night for the house to cool down, or put in air conditioning, they're gonna give you a second mortgage through WAPA. If you can build in a way that you don't have those type of things happening, then you need to know about those possibilities, opportunities, and maybe even in some cases, ability to retrofit. So just know that on August 15th, right here on St. Croix at UVI Great Hall, they're going to be having the Innovative Housing Construction Summit. All right. So just letting you know about those things so you can check it out and see if it's something that's going to benefit you. Right. Now, I see that the folks at VI Waste Management who are always on the move, yes, sometimes not fast enough, and in the past, sometimes not consistent enough, but seeing like they are on the move and consistent these days. Well, starting from back in July, they've been having this residential waste disposal weekends, okay, where residents can dispose of bulk waste, scrap metal, and appliances at designated bin sites on St. Croix, St. Thomas, and St. John from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Now, bulk waste, appliances, scrap metal, I see something that's missing, but we'll come to that in a second, okay? On St. Croix, the locations are Cotton Valley Bin Site and the Anguilla Landfill. In St. Thomas is Cancrine Bin Site and Nazareth Bin Site, and in St. John is the Pine Peace Bin Site and Coral Bay Bin Site. Okay, but focusing on St. Croix, the Cotton Valley Bin Site out east end, and the Anguilla Landfill, which is more central for the rest of the island. Okay, that's fine. Now, I see bulk waste, I see appliances, I see scrap metal. What I'm not seeing is electronic devices, equipment, including the one big electronic item that every every Black Friday people changing out, like this the new iPhone. meaning the TV. All right. We need to hear something from the folks at Waste Management about collection of electronic waste. I mean, I if you have 2 and 3 TV in your yard under a tarp because you just need to dispose of them, and you're trying not to get in problems with the law, and you definitely ain't doing what some of these folks are they're doing, taking and dumping it in the middle of some place. You're trying to do the right thing, but we need some guidance on waste management on how to proceed. So I'll give them a call nonetheless from my perspective. But I'm just saying this to you so that if you have the same concern, you can also say something to them. Or um, in the case of uh, someone from waste management listening, that they can deal with that. Now, this is very important. Simple little things that aren't communicated sometimes leave it for people to fill in the blanks. So they were on the government channel talking about this problem they had with people dumping waste down by Williams Delight. Okay. Now I understand the concern there because it's very unsightly. When you're coming in on the plane, if you just happen to look down there at the right time when they're playing in the right location, folks, it don't look good. Whether you live here and coming home or you're coming to St. Croix for vacation, it don't look good. Okay? So I'm just saying that to you because maybe you never experienced that where you are flying in and you look out and you saw all of this stuff back there by Williams the Light dump back there. But sometimes simple things to be said aren't said. For instance, you keep hearing about tipping fees. So now the average household person thinking, let's see, that if I go down to Anguilla with my refrigerator or the old bed, that they're going to charge me for it, for dumping it. And so with some people, they say, well, before I do that, I want to dump it for free. So I gonna go down Williams or Light or wherever else and dump it for free. And you you hear what I'm saying, and of course you could put the two plus two together. There's no such thing as dumping for free. Somebody gonna pay for it, especially when it's something that having oil or other carcinogenic things in involved also. So it's no such thing as free, except that when you take your stuff as an individual homeowner down to Anguilla, there is no tipping fee. The tipping fee is for the companies that do business in delivering waste to the landfill. They come with a whole big container of waste that because they're coming from a construction site or a demolition site or whatever the case may be, they are the ones that tipping fees apply to. And I'm watching this thing on the government channel, and they're showing the problem. The lady from the neighborhood is bringing it to their attention. And then the person from waste management steps up and says this. And I said, but I should have been saying that all along. You know your people. If it costs them something to do it, they're trying to figure out how they could get it for free. And the end result is things like the dumping going on right there in Williamson Light. So, folks, I'm saying this to you. If you have an issue with a or stove or refrigerator or bed, something, take it down to Anguilla. They're not going to charge you. Now, if you hire one of these trucking company and do spring cleaning and hoarding cleaning and put all these things. When they get down there, they gonna pay a tipping fee. Okay, but I'm saying this, folks. This is where we live. This is where we're inviting people to come and see. And I could tell you firsthand when the plane coming over there, if you're looking out the window the right way, it don't look good to see all of that trash there back stuck off in Williamson Light or any place else that illegal dumping is being done. So I'm just saying to you, waste management people themselves don't tell you there is no fee involved for individual household dumping. Okay, so you ain't got no excuse. You ain't got no excuse. Take your stuff down there. Okay, all right. So, Jared,
Yes, sir.
you're saying you're doing spring cleaning,
Spring cleaning? What's that?
summer cleaning, fall cleaning.
Cleaning in general.
You're gonna be bringing out a whole container worth of stuff.
I've been.
Anyhow, now it was amazing, Jared. I'm watching this thing on TV, and the guy comes out afterward and says, well, folks, if you didn't know, of course they don't know, can you ain't tell them? I want to say you ain't tell them. It might be written down somewhere.
But
But how much of our people learn things because they happen to read something that was written down?
right. But you had me chuckling there when you say, when you're coming over in the plane, it remind me of the other day
Somebody I like too. Okay, go ahead.
I was talking to some people that don't look like you and I,
Mm-hmm.
and they said when they first came over on the plane, they thought that people in St. Croix was rich people. So I said, why you say that? They said that when they passed over on the restaurant thing area, they saw all these pools, right? So I was like, I scratching my head, like, what the hell these people talking about? Then they said, well, when they went to look, driving around the island, it wasn't pools, it was blue tarps on the roof. I said, Jesus Christ.
All right, too. Good morning, WSTX.
Yes, gentle fellows, how are you guys today?
Mr. Nibs,
Mr. Nibs.
Yes, sir.
good morning, sir.
Okay.
You come,
Sometimes I know this whereas the DNC is having a summer meeting in Austin, Texas to decide who they're going to vote on. They're going to take a vote on who they would be pushing for the presidency in 2028. Your name will be on the ballot?
No,
I thought your name was going to be there.
I running for life.
You're running for life.
I running for life. You know, it's so funny you mentioned them because me personally, I feel like they're out of touch. They're out of touch. Okay, folks, the old guard fighting for survival.
Uh-huh.
You see all of these people getting sent home?
Or what about the new guy?
But that's what I'm saying. You ain't seen all of these people getting sent home.
Okay.
If you're following what's going on with these primaries and stuff.
Oh, yeah. I'm
Okay,
following that.
yeah, folks trying to hold on, and the old guard is not getting it. Okay, it's just like the folks who are being loyalists and doing things that are driving up the cost of living, and they're not getting it that their people are saying me and they ain't that with you and sending them home.
Yes, sir.
Okay. The fact of the matter is, if you're going to vote for things that are going to drive up the cost of living, and imagine a one-bedroom apartment in New York, $5,000. That means $60,000 a year you're paying for a one-bedroom apartment. That means
Why not?
you have to be making at least $180,000 if that represents 30% of your salary. No, and I'm not saying that there aren't job situations, whatever, where people can't afford that in New York,
Yes.
but these things are happening and they're artificially being inflated by housing stock that's deliberately being either kept off the market or not advertised to the community as being available. Okay.
And that's true.
Okay. We're gonna take a break here in a minute. I want you to go ahead and hold on. Okay.
Okay.
And we're gonna come back to that. But
Okay.
here, and we'll talk a little bit more. You ready for us?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
go for it. So hold on, Mr. Nick.
Yeah, hold on, Mr.
Yes, sir.
Nibs.
Okay.
You're listening to WSTX Reflections, 9:70 a.m. We'll be back after these messages.
Does Josh come in here on any particular days?
Yes. Hold on 1 second. Yeah.
Ready?
Yep.
Okay, we are back. We're back, people. We had to, pay some bills. Yeah, keep the lights and the mics on so we could bring you this content. You know, the number to call is 340-773-0390 or 340-773-0490. We still got a call on the line or he gone?
Mr. Nebs. Oh, yeah, he did. Yes, sir.
Mr. Nibs, we're back.
Yeah, I am. But Dougie, you mentioned something there that very, very much should be in the forefront, but it's not. The fact that 30% of your gross income is what one should be paying for shelter or home or whatever,
Yeah,
and that's more, otherwise you'll be paying too much rent. But that seemingly has gone the way of the west side, because there's also some words like a keys market. The sky is the limit.
yeah,
You understand?
yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous what people are paying to live. I mean, how? I mean, 30 days to come so fast.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really crazy.
You know what's selling a air conditioned 3-bedroom tent?
Well, even them that you look sharp is going to be pricey.
Yeah. Well, you know, I just have accepted the fact. When I say accepted, it's not. I don't mean that you're just going to go along,
Right.
but that in this economic system that we are in, the least
Right.
little,
Guava crop.
the least little excuse they have to raise price, they're doing it. And in the United States, you have companies that going around buying up the housing stock and then keeping it offline to keep prices artificially high.
Yeah.
Here on St. Croix, when the refinery was being refurbished and they had the man camp, I don't know when last you've been to St. Croix,
Been
but
a long
a
time.
long time. Okay, well, let me know when you're coming this way so we can have you in as a guest. But anyhow,
Okay.
you know when you drive from Saniel down to Hess,
Yes.
on the right hand side, that whole area there by Hess was turned into a living quarters where they brought in these special trailers and connected them together and everything else. They call it
Yeah, I know about the man
the
camp.
man
Yeah.
camp. Okay, all right. Well, that still wasn't enough, or maybe not adequate for some of the people who were coming here to work,
Right.
and they were being subsidized to live off, outside of the man camp.
Right.
So as a result, you had people who had like a 4,000, 5,000, $8,000 a month stipend or whatever the case may be for housing.
Right.
Or if it wasn't that much, if it was 2,000 and three people pull up, that's $6,000 there.
Right.
So all of a sudden, these 1,000, 2,000, $3,000 rentals went up,
Oh, but oh,
and
yeah.
and then the bubble burst when the refinery blew up.
Mm-hmm.
But during that time, that things had looking really good. A lot of people get put out.
You know, Dougie, why it's when you're saying it, I'm there thinking of what, as a use the term, what the market could bear.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's nice to get salary increases and all these other arguments and whatnot, but then those things fuel the increase in food and rental, because the guy out there selling food, say you get a 30-cent increase in your pay, he looking 29 cents out of it.
Well, but see, this is the thing, right? When you were hearing all of this talk about the what do you call it, the minimum wage,
Yeah.
it's a scam. every time the minimum wage go up, everything else go up.
Of course.
So you don't actually get a living wage. They already have a system designed to eat away at anything you get here.
You're right. That money is already spoken for.
Right. So now, this is just the way it is. This is why you have to figure out ways in which you're going to insulate yourself from having to spend money. Right? Now, the fact of the matter is, if my $30, $50 sneakers going to take me through for the next year or so, I don't need $300 Jordans to walk across the street.
Okay,
Okay, I mean, but unfortunately, our community is raised very much to be consumers. You go on your phone and the folks at Amazon say, "Oh, we saw something you think you'd be interested in."
Yep.
Okay, the cost of computer RAM has gone up so that a digital hard drive that I bought for $300 now is $800.
Oh yeah. Easily.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, let me say this and go in the invoice. They all across, well across the state of Florida, and it happened because of a number of reasons. COVID came, and a lot of people moved away. They didn't come back. Families are homeschooling their children. And of course, the big white elephant, the ICE people running the people out of the country. So now the schools are here. There ain't nobody in them. So they're consolidating schools and now selling the building schools are for sale.
Yeah.
If this is by design, I don't know what else.
Well, not only that. I'm watching this whole thing because I'm seeing a self-destructive process going on here, because the folks who work the fields are leaving. The folks who work construction are leaving.
We have nobody to walk it now.
The folks who come in here to get an education from abroad, they can't afford it, or the mechanisms for immigration are such that it makes it onerous to the point where it's depressing it. You got the folks in Canada who just pissed off with how they've been talked to and otherwise treated, and the money ain't coming in that way. More people going to Mexico for tourism and vacation now than staying in the U.S. or coming to the U.S. And each one of these things are having an economic impact that's cumulative.
Very much so.
So at some point in time, the system is going to break down. Well, how we see it as breakdown, more often than not, is that these folks who custom to have $10,000 a week come through, and now they only have a $5,000 a week come through. Well, they're trying to figure out now how they could get that money back up, either by raising costs or whatever. I'm watching now with the iPhone, $1,000 iPhone, using the problem they're having with RAM. Okay, easily gonna be a $1,500-$1,600 iPhone. All right. And I'm saying, like, when did we ever think we were going to have to take out a mortgage to buy a phone?
You use the operative word mortgage.
All right. But
let me tell you something. It is frightening. Let me just say this quickly and go. I am into development and doing things. And right now I'm back and forth to the BVI and getting with some other folks that have lived in New York, particularly for a long time, some guys from Carrot Bay, Tortola. And we are doing some business investments. And let me tell you something, even though between, let's say, 4 of us guys might have 100 of acres of land that we can put up as collateral, the banks are saying, oh, Jesus, are you all let me want to that? Are you yes?
Yeah, well, that's where we are too. It's like you're basically back to being land rich,
Yes, sir.
in that
Land rich
and cash poor.
pocket poor.
Yeah, in that context, yeah. Well, the fact of the matter is, right now, you want to buy a Apple computer or any other kind of computer, the prices have gone up simply because AI folks buying up all the RAM and artificially, in that context, raising the cost of RAM. Well, the people who are selling, they ain't complaining. They're getting more bang for the buck because they were selling at a certain level. But now, if you follow in certain areas, you'll see that this sale and that sale and this discount and that discount, because they're actually reaching the limit of what the market will bear. And the fact of the matter is, my iPhone 15 gonna work fine for me for the next 5 years. I don't need a 18, 19, 20, whatever. But you have people out there in the past who every year they get in a newer model.
True.
Now, let me just say an observation that I've had here, and Jared, of course, is who brought it to my attention because he does see more than me. It got less car on the road here on St. Croix these days.
Well, listen, you keep going where you're going, and now I hope they're nobody holding on.
No, but this is what I'm saying. People are holding on. They're saying me just driving up and down, me going no place unless I got to go because gas is now $5 a gallon, $4 a gallon, whatever the case may be. It's like,
well,
hey.
I don't know how much of the national news you listen to yet since morning clean. The price of gas has gone up 4 cents overnight.
Well, let me tell you, right? You want to talk about self-inflicted wounds? Just yesterday, we had working from home going on, and then these billionaires and this administration saying we ain't like work from home. We want you to come back. Now they're getting people back on the road, and the cost of fuel gone up the way it gone up. I could tell you these people that they're lobbying left, and we need to go back to accommodating work from home, and more and more of them are doing it. They're just not talking about it out loud the way they used to, but more and more are accommodating. Say, okay, you come in 2 days a week, 3 days a week, you work from home, this, that, and the other, the case may be. Simply because the economics, if they're supposed to be such a great economy, and I keep hearing this, it's like, really, these folks feel like the more they set in, the more people believe it. Me neither.
I don't know how it is that America continues to shoot itself in the foot. I realize if you got a gun in holster, so they want to pull it out the holster so fast, and then the hand there and the trigger, you shoot yourself in the foot instead of pulling out the holster. But the things they're doing right now, is it Meta? Is there a big lawsuit against Meta now? And they call, they then use the term indoctrinating, they then use poisoning, but having to do with messing up children's minds.
Yeah, well, Meta is just the first shoe to drop because everybody else frightened, okay, from Meta, Google, whoever else, the fact of the matter is every parent who depends on the iPhone to keep their children occupied. Okay, they don't realize that everything in the world is on YouTube.
Yep.
Everything in the world is on YouTube.
That's true.
And
I don't think that has nothing to do with artificial intelligence. I think that's just so.
Yeah, no. That artificial intelligence ain't got nothing to do with it. Okay, artificial stupidity got nothing to do with it. Okay, because if you have the same thing of water in the fridge and you drinking out of it thinking it's Kool-Aid, just because you think it's Kool-Aid don't mean it ain't water. You know? Okay.
I would be thinking that white thing look like water is vodka.
You know? But what's happening is that our young people and our elder people, some of them other too, have access to any and everything on just YouTube. And I'm just saying just YouTube. We're not talking about Facebook, Instagram, right? And so these things are being given to these children now. I was talking with a young man the other day, okay, who I had the opportunity to mentor to whatever, and this young man was introduced to things because his friend them who had the phone were going and looking at these things. And he said, and that's how my curiosity got into these things. I had to sit the young man down and talk with him and explain and say, well, you know, but there's a difference between what you see on there and what's reality, you know, and so forth and so on, and everything else. And I'm happy to say that the person caught themselves and you know, got themselves out of that. But the curiosity now, I remember the days when, as children, people wanted to go to the movies because they hear in this movie they're going to kiss.
There's a lot of kissing.
A whole lot more than kissing going on out there. That every time these folks, because the average parent don't know nothing about how to set up this the cell phone to limit what these children could go to.
I'm glad you got on there.
And
let me tell you again, and I'm going out for true. My youngest daughter is the only one of my children live in a state where I'm for the most part and in West Palm Beach, and she has a 10-year-old son. But she knows how to jam the thing that he can't get to this, can't get to that. That boy look like he take after his grandpa.
So she had to fix up your phone too? That's what you're telling me?
That's fine.
Well,
she better leave mine alone.
But you make it sound as though, you know, it's something where he get the apple ain't fall too far for the tree. So I figured maybe she had fixed up your phone to keep you out of trouble.
But I mean, that's the way children now, they're so curious.
Exactly.
We are making it easier for them to become fathers and wives and things before they even see it. Well,
not only that. The bottom line is anybody could go to the gym and pump iron. That don't mean they're gonna become muscular Schwarzeneggers or whoever else. So you follow what I'm saying, right? Okay. So there's what you see and what reality is all about. Okay. Now, in the States, you had these children went and take a car and drive down the road, lick up and somebody, kill somebody. Okay, you got five teenagers the other day went over a cliff, all of them dead. You know, I mean, my thing is, well, how did they get the keys? You had a young man, the father gone to jail now. Give the child not the M16, what's it? AR, whatever. Right. You know, and he went and shoot up and killed people. The father gone to jail now in regards to that. But my thing is, where is the thinking that you don't give a child a gun as a birthday gift? Some of them don't have no lock or no this, no that, whatever. I mean, they are, but we're looking at it that way. We have to look at adults who go to drop off the child to childcare and forget the child in the car and gone into work and come back in and find if the child died from heat stroke.
Too much of that is happening. Where are your minds?
Where are the minds and where's the training and where's the messaging and everything else?
Jesus.
You know, I'm saying this in a simple context that there is so much opportunities in the United States for things to go haywire, and it's a form of self-destruction. Just because you could do it, don't mean you should be doing it or allowing it. For instance, cannabis is one of those things. People don't touch my cannabis. My thing is like, okay, me want to touch your cannabis. Me, your cannabis, me want to touch it. But the reality is, everybody's brain is wired differently, and some young people, when they take and use these things, it causes a snap in their brain that they never recover from.
Chemical imbalance.
Right? Because the brain of a developing child as opposed to an adult is two different worlds. So, and so now there's certain other things that are showing up in younger and younger. So certain type of episodes and problems are coming from use of cannabis. Okay. Yeah. So for me, I'm not saying cannabis is good or cannabis is bad. I'm saying cannabis is for everybody, and you have to have some way of saying that, okay, if we know that the average child brain is at that point of maturity by age 25, well, do we want to be in making it possible for them to get, and once making it possible these days, when your children go out of the house, if you don't have a rapport with your child that helps them to exercise good judgment, then you have just turned them loose to the wall to get whatever they want to get to. And in closing off on this subject, there was this, I'm sure it could be found somewhere on YouTube, but there was this program where parents were talking to the children about drinking and driving, and that they promise to not get in a car with anybody who's been drinking.
Right.
Okay? And then sure enough, they come and they set up these situations, where the children got in a car with somebody who was drinking.
Yeah.
And of course, the car gets stopped and the parents come out and the children are having to explain, well, what I thought you told me. And the fact of the matter is, we have to take responsibility as parents. Talking is important. Yes, but it have to be more than talking.
Yeah, you got to introduce that tool.
Yeah, but as you say that, right? There's a term now that they're using for parents who keep a close check and relationship with their children. They call them helicopter parents.
They're hovering.
They're hovering. But Jesus, I mean, if you don't do it, I mean, the child itself might want to stick with your teaching, but then they are bullied and peer pressured.
Right. Well,
Mr. Nibs.
Yeah.
When mine look up, they see the ball bud.
So then he right away create something.
Yes.
Yeah, but there's little things. For instance, to all the audience out there, when you charging your cell phone, you put your cell phone down on the bed charging, it could catch fire. And then you got a whole bed to light up the place. And if you have a wood roof, because you got them who have concrete wall, but you got a wood roof. Next thing you know, you got a fire. Next thing you know, you ain't got no roof over your head. A simple little thing I saying, like, look, if you gonna do this, then you ain't gonna have a phone in my house.
Okay then.
Okay, you have to be able to put down your foot. But we got some places where the parent can't go in the child room.
I never heard that. I just take out the bedroom door.
That's you and me. Okay, I understand that. But the reality of what it is that we're dealing with. Anyhow,
That's true.
I appreciate your input, and let me know when you're running for president, so I could definitely be aware and do what I could do. Okay.
Well, you're gonna see me out there running, but I'm gonna be running and pushing Kamala Harris. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Take care. All right. Yes, all right. Okay.
Mr. Lips.
Well, you know, the DSA or what they say or whatever they want to call themselves, I think that me personally, they're out of touch. Okay. Um, the parties that exist here in the Virgin Islands, some exist in name only. Um, the bottom line is if you only know me every 2 years when you want to vote for me, then you have no credibility with me. Let the chips fall where they may. It is what it is. You don't know me for 2 years and then all of a sudden I become important to you. Well, in other words, as long as I give you what you want, what are you getting out of it? Okay? And I say that a political party is a can be a very effective tool, a very important tool for getting certain things done, uh, for pulling people together. But the reality is, in the Virgin Islands, we are do this thing where we give somebody a job, tell them don't put your hand in the cookie jar, and come back later, 2 years later, to check the cookie jar to see if the cookie's still there in it. Okay,
I guess
and just so we got six people under indictment now. Okay, and them is the ones that get catch. And I'm saying, okay, this is a problem. I ain't going to them there who get catch. I going to them there who put them in place, turn them loose, and say I know you, I could trust you, and
uh-huh.
and not verify that I could trust you. You want to trust? Verify. That's all. Trust but verify.
I call them dinos.
Yeah. But
Democrats in name only.
no, that's a waste of time. When acronyms like that, you see, you know, accountability in name only is what I will go for. Because see, what is the fact of the matter is, as far as any one party, Democratic Party has the largest amount of people who registered because they're registering as Democrat.
Right.
Okay, so every time you say that, you turn off somebody who could work to make the place better. And I say somebody because not everybody is in party leadership.
Yeah, but don't.
Okay.
I to be straightforward with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
The system is rigged.
But this is what we. But this is
the whole system is rigged against, especially one island against the other, and all this kind of
But
thing.
you ain't gonna reach to the island. See, this is the thing.
Yeah, but that's how it's set up. That's how
No,
it's set up.
no.
I mean, I see the right thing.
I disagree with you.
You can say what you want.
Of course, I could say what I want.
You
You don't say what you want all the time. I'm gonna tell Big Sis about some of the things that you don't say what you say what you want.
She know my views about them things too. Like
Okay.
I always say.
You always are coming out with big chat, you know.
For the time they change the makeup of the legislature, right? The people of the Virgin been screwed. They shift all the power one side. And we have some senators, the 7 senators are with us higher. I ain't gonna say we elect, we hire them to work for us. They don't have the cojones to stand up for us over here. They are siding with them clown in St. Thomas. They don't fight for us over here.
Well, I gonna tell you, right? I gonna tell you. I saw when something came up that was going to benefit St. Croix.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the St. Thomians were saying, "Let's do it. Let's find the plan and fix it, and let's do it."
Mm-hmm.
And the Crucians, on their own initiative, said, "No, we're killing it."
Okay.
And I'm saying that because I think that sometimes we don't be giving St. Thomians too much credit. Okay? You gotta start at home.
Yeah.
You gotta start at
I
home.
agree.
Okay? And I'm using that as an example. I'm using that as an example because one of the things
Listen, I know they have been Crucian senators that killed a lot of things for St. Croix. When they was building the hospital, Wang Louis Hospital, and Hess wanted to build it, they said, no, give us the money. But them damn Crucian senators said so. Okay? When it was the complex, Hess wanted to build the complex, they tell them the same thing. No, give them the money. Right? And they find a way to thief the money and do all kinds of things with the money. Next thing you know, they clear the land, and the land stay there, and nothing was done until way later when they find some money again to start the project after the thief out what they gonna thief out. Okay? Me asking, I tell you, I see this happen time and time again.
Well, Gerard, you don't have to tell me about that. First of all, if the government need $100 and they only have 75, then somebody is making a decision. No matter what the legislature said the money is for, right? Somebody to decide where that $75 gonna go,
Right.
because you're already in a deficit situation, so you can't spend it all how it was all planned out in the budget,
Right.
right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, and that's a game that's being played on the people of the Virgin Islands for years. Okay,
Yeah.
and that will continue. That will continue for a variety of reasons until we start having specific funds with fiduciary checks on them and so forth and so on. Okay, just the same way you have federal dollars where
Right.
they can't go and do anything with them. But that's an ongoing problem. All I'm saying to you, Jared, okay, is the problem goes deeper when you say rigged. It goes deeper because the people rigging themselves. If you're going to go out and leave the children for 2 years and say nobody eat no cookies out of the cookie jar, okay, the problem is not the children. The problem is the parents. Okay, so now in this case, we're saying the problem is the parents.
Right.
That means that the problem is the people.
Right. Because look at this, right, Doug?
Mm-hmm.
Hugo was 89, right?
Yep.
So when was JFL built? Not in the 90s?
Yeah, I understand that. But
A building that was just built the other day, 30 years ago, you could say. No, we have to replace it because they have all these problems, plumbing problems. They build the building with cast iron pipes and all this kind of thing. When in them days, it had PVC pipes you got put in, all this kind of thing they do cutting corners.
Yeah.
I sure if Hess had built the place, that thing would have been standing like a fortress today.
Okay. Well, the reality is, like you said, our leadership said, give us the money.
And
Right.
then build it, cut corners and build it cheap.
Well, however you want to look at it, it's just like the bypass. Whatever federal dollars were used for building the bypass, it took 40 years.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, look down there at the ballpark in Frederickstead.
Oh, that's not a ballpark. That's a shanty. Anyway.
Well, for $30 million, I would have to agree with you. For $30 million, yeah. But we keep coming back around to something, and we can't get away from it, Gerard. If you're going to turn the children them loose in the house, and you got all these jars full of cookies, and tell them nobody put their hand in the cookie jar, okay? And you come back 2 years later to check, then we the people are the problem.
Yeah,
and that's what we do now.
But it's the same thing I say. I just say this, and you heard me say this several times here on this show. We are the CEOs of the government. We the people.
Okay, we got somebody calling.
We need to hire and fire at will.
Okay.
If you go to do a job and you don't perform on the job, they're gonna fire you, right?
Yes. WSTX, you're on the line.
Well, we got fire though. You see the thing is we don't wait until a new election to fire. We got fire before the time is up. And we don't do it.
No, we don't fire, period.
Okay.
They
But
keep, they keep voting for them because.
Going through the job. I want to hear how you stand and
You see? I will go.
But why you ain't go through the door? Hey,
I got a real smart phone. And you tell me what to do.
Yeah, but you say, I don't tell you already, you know. You need to give me your insurance card so I could bill your insurance. Because you said this is your therapy. And I tired of working for you and ain't getting paid.
Let me tell you something. I mean now, okay, seriously. You tell me, both of you gentlemen tell me, because in some quarters I've been told, well, in the quarters of the governor and the executive director, whopper, I am being told that I don't understand. But they ain't telling me what I don't understand.
Well, none of us understand.
Huh?
None of us understand. But go ahead.
I asked a simple question to them. Gentlemen, do you all have the money? Not only for new plants, but also for schools, hospitals, and roads. And the dancing me wrong. I want to dance. I love a bachata. or I love a bolero where I'm going to be soaking, you see. But they got me all about doing, I don't know what I'm doing, you know. But they're answering me, but they tell me I don't understand. Well, Jerry and Doug, tell me please what it is I don't understand. Do we have the money for these projects or we don't?
Well, the bottom line is, if you answer the question up front like that, then they ain't got no reason to go wrong and wrong and wrong, and they like reason to go wrong and wrong and wrong.
Well, the answer to your question, right? The answer to your question, you know, you have to have your matching funds. And a lot of times the government do not have the funds to put up, so they could draw down on the funds what they have.
Yeah, but the matching fund was changed almost to 100%. It changed from 75, 25 to 90, 10. What they want to change to 100%?
But if they don't have the 10%, what you want them to do?
Why they don't have it? Where's gone?
Well, you need to do like what they used to do back in the day, and grab them, hold them, and turn them upside down and shake them out to see what they have in their pocket.
Oh, anyhow.
Because I don't know.
But I agree with you, Jerry, because they go before the legislature with a hue and cry from everybody and his sister. They go before these guys and the legislature, and only one, two of them pressuring them. The others stop them and they show them, look, they don't have to run.
You know, I used to listen to the legislature hearing and so up until a few days ago. And I realized that my pressure was going up.
Okay.
You understand? So I said, I don't have an outlet like you to call to get my pressure down. So I stopped listening to the legislature because, you know, I can't believe them people are going from them on the floor and tell people like that.
Yeah, but Dougie, you were there in the legislature, and you were one of them you didn't have a gun to them head, but you're fooling them to get an answer. Some of them ask the question, they don't answer it. Okay, let's move on. Move on to go where? Where going?
Well, you know, they're moving on probably because of time limits, but let me just say this, right? Let me just say this. There's games that people play, And last I know, politicians is people too. Okay.
Oh, they are.
You-
They are.
What kind of people they might be a matter of opinion now, but there's people too. Okay.
you know,
So no, let me finish my
Mm.
thought here. Let me finish my thought here. Because one of the things that they do to manipulate people is they artificially get them riled up, okay, and things that mean nothing. Okay, like for instance, you want to talk about corruption. Everybody into corruption. They're talking corruption to the point that they ain't even paying attention to what happening right in front of their face. For instance,
Because that's a regular war, just another war.
for instance, okay, I have observed, let's just say in this last legislature, okay, that issues that existed for the past 2 years all of a sudden didn't come up until they were running for re-election.
But that's when they don't come up.
But no, exactly. They just save it up. They just save it up because that's their opportunity to get on there and grandstand and carry on and everything else. You and I both know that when people running for office, they don't have campaign committee and they don't raise monies, and that's how they don't pay for the jingle and the advertising and everything else, right?
They raise money up there.
When well, however they want, if they could, they'd raise the dead, I guess, you know. But anyhow, moving right along, okay. So now with all the quote unquote corruption going on, when somebody get out there and say that somebody get paid $270 something $1,000 for doing a jingle, and I'm saying like, what? I need to know about that program. But they know it's false. They know that what they're saying is false. But they know in this time an emotion spread about corruption.
Yeah.
All these people jump on it like you have any truth to it.
You're taken to the 10th degree.
And they did it to get people riled up, to get themselves grandstanding time and everything else. But they lied. And this is the thing. We love being lied to, it seems, because we keep rewarding the people who does tell these Anansi stories of politics.
Well, that's America.
But you know what I find,
But that's America. You see what they have in the White House?
Yeah. When a constituent embellish, support an answer out of the good for that man.
Well, embellishment is one thing. I don't know that it is as mundane or as understated as embellishment. Okay, and to my partner here in the studio, right? The man and his emissaries come down here and study us and go back up there now and walking it on the American people. So if you have some thoughts about what's going on up there, okay, just remember they learn from the best.
Well, Mr. Nibs, wait, before you go.
The politicians are their own worst enemies because they make it seem as if what the people are saying is true with regards to, and you just raised the point, we used to have to get out there and fry fish and sell anything to make money to put on a jingle. They put in on a big set and jingle and you ain't seen no fish fry or nothing being held.
Man,
yeah, but at least that ain't the government money. The thing is when you start saying that they use government money to do something, okay, that they know full well is not true, but they're trying to inflame the community to distract them from the things that they really do.
Use of a government vehicle, and I have done it for donkey years because I had 24 use a government vehicle.
Okay,
just
you're saying that now because the statute of limitations run on you.
That don't happen no more. You have the transportation pool now, you gotta go and ask for a car.
Yeah.
You gotta ask for a car. But listen, I was talking to one of them, our so-called leaders, about a situation, our hall on the floor.
Mhm.
And I said, but I asked him, I said, why you have to listen to all these lies from these departments and stuff like that? He said, but you really believe that a lie? I said, but wait, you're supposed to be working for us, the public, right? Me, the layman who is just out here at the outside looking in, can
Yeah.
see the lie. Are you in there in the well? You can't tell these people lying to you.
Well, you see, they believe that they're lying down because they just all basically stand up in your face and tell you the lie. So they're not down.
I said, but these people lying to you. You're like,
Anyhow,
for real?
anyhow, we're going on. I continue to state that the challenge is really within the electorate. The challenge is within the electorate.
Right.
You get the kind of leadership and behavior that you accept. You know,
Well, the
some people
people-
say you deserve. I don't think that we deserve,
The
but
people need to be more astute. They need to learn about who these candidates are,
Uh-huh.
okay, before they put the mark on the ballot and say they're going to vote for them. I tell them, do not vote for them people because they're your friend, your mother friend, your cousin, your friend father, your friend cousin, whoever it is. Don't vote for them on that kind because they're anyone in any category. Vote for them because they're working for you. Vote for them because they're doing something worthwhile for the community. When you're going to vote, when you're going to vote, I will tell people this. Ask yourself this. What have this individual done to improve your life within the last 2 years?
or
Yeah, but even about more than that.
Well, I said 2 years. I said 2 years because some of them might be new. You understand? But say the last 10 years.
Yeah.
What have they done?
Nothing.
You understand? Me? I got a problem with every last one of them.
Okay. Well, they
Okay?
love me. They love me. I mean, we have friends. And the thing is, I don't know why they don't still love me. They cost me so much, they still love me.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, we got to show you. Well, I won't say you have experienced it. But the point I'm trying to get at is this.
Mm-hmm.
And I have worked, even when I was executive director, and I know something that's being said incorrectly, when testifier, I would pass a note to the president of somebody. But then a lot of the time, I could see the impression on the face, well, let's send me this note on it, put it on the side. So after the session, you expect me to have raised that question? I will lose focus. Oh, Jesus. So all you worrying about is getting more votes. You don't care that they're telling you the rankest and nasty is a lie. I don't know. A politician is a funny animal.
Listen, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Anyway, time running up, so
Yeah.
I'm going through the other time. I ain't gonna let you.
All right. All right. I'm going to cut the signal to your smartphone.
Okay.
All right. Have a good one.
all right, Mr. Leah, you said
Well, listen, dog, I was at the book club for Nina Garcia. Turned 5 years yesterday. Been running the book club for 5 years. If you want to join the book club, the book club is for anybody, whether you have a disability or not. If you want to join the book club, contact Nina Garcia at the Florence Williams Library. We are happy to have more individuals. We got about 10 people or so, or more on the book club so far. But after we were done, I called the bus. The dispatch said, oh, we called the drivers in for a meeting. They can be in a meeting for 1 hour, from 12 to 1. I said, you gotta be crazy. Yes, sir. So I give them the finger. I went and I jumped on the big bus and went home. And I must say, they did good with the fixed road buses. The seats are comfortable, you know. Although the bus don't lean, that's a class action suit I put in together for the tail. But anyway, the bus don't lean for persons with the disabilities or seniors. But the bus itself, the interior is quite comfortable. So far, the air condition is top notch. The seats are comfortable. You have your seat belts, your armrests, all these kind of things. Like a luxury bus, man. It's really good. So you must when you must park the Jeep up and take a run one of
Take
these
a
days,
run.
dog.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, just flash your car and you're right for free.
Okay.
That's what I did.
All right.
I flashed my car and I ride for free.
Okay. You said time.
Use that time, beginning and end. Okay. BIU said under the umbrella of UBI has a program you might be interested in if you are a person with these two disabilities combined, whether you have hearing and vision loss together, you can qualify for the I Can Connect program. The I Can Connect program is also known as the Deafblind Equipment Distribution Program. This program is run by the FCC. FCC runs this program, you know, so you can get a free iPhone, iPad, or computer to facilitate distance communication between you and your loved ones. To find out more about the program, you can go online at icanconnect.org, icanconnect.org, or you can call 340-692-4267. VIUSIT also offers a low interest loan program. If you need to make a ramp or any disability improvements on your house, or even if you need hearing aids, you know, hearing aids are very expensive. You can apply for a loan to get these hearing aids at 340-692-4267. We also have our DME closet, which we can lend you a wheelchair, walker, or cane for no cost to you. We lend it to you for 30 days or more. And to find out about this program, you can call 340-692-4267. We also do assistance with your cell phones, tablets for persons with disabilities and seniors. The number to call to get on that program is 340-692-4266. Everything I just said is for free. So you take advantage of these free programs. As VIU said, working for you. Now I think I hear the footsteps of the marshal coming in. So we have come full circle, another program or episode of Reflections ending right now. You have been listening to Reflections with Doug and Jerry.
All right. Don't have the system like that, man. You ain't said to make sure you do a random act of kindness.
Yeah, let me finish. You're gonna do a random act of kindness and send me Zelle or
Venmo,
PayPal, all these things, you know. It's payday, you know. But anyway,
there's hope for Jerry.
But you know, listen. On a serious note, we're ending the show. So see you next Thursday, same time, same place, different topic. Peace out.
Hope for Jerry Nassau.